Welcome to today's Explainer. I'm so thrilled to have you here today because we are tackling a topic that strikes right at the absolute core of our ambitions. I mean, we all want it, right? That massive career leap, that one golden ticket, the big break. Whether you're a creative, climbing the corporate ladder, or building your own business, we are culturally conditioned to just constantly hunt for that single opportunity that's going to instantly elevate our status and, let's be honest, our paycheck. But what if getting exactly what you want, exactly when you want it, is actually the absolute worst thing that could happen to your personal growth? Today, we're breaking down some fascinating insights on why snagging that dream opportunity prematurely might not just be unhelpful, it might actually be a trap.
So let me just ask you straight up, are you ready for your big break? And I don't mean, do you want it? Because obviously, of course you want it. I mean, if the ultimate door swung wide open for you this very afternoon, do you actually possess the refined skills, the capacity, and the professional maturity to back it up? This question isn't meant to discourage you, not at all. It's actually the absolute foundation of genuine personal growth. It forces us to take a hard look in the mirror and evaluate our real professional readiness. Because as we're about to see, jumping the gun doesn't just result in a minor stumble, it can have lasting consequences. Let's dive right into Section 1, a cautionary tale.
So our source material today kicks things off with this super relatable real-world anecdote. Picture this. There's an incredibly important family event, the kind where the memories need to be perfectly preserved. The author of our source material hired someone to take pictures at this major milestone. Now, this photographer was just an apprentice at the time, really just a beginner trying to find their footing. But this eager apprentice literally begged for the job. They put themselves forward aggressively, just incredibly hungry for the opportunity to shoot such a significant event. Now, on the surface, you might applaud the hustle. We love a go-getter, right? But ambition without the solid foundation of personal growth is an incredibly risky game to play.
Take a look at the sheer mismatch here. On one side, we have the apprentice capacity. This photographer was still learning the ropes, still figuring out lighting, framing, how to handle the dynamics of a live event. But look over at the other side, professional demands. Without the client knowing until much later, this apprentice secretly went ahead and charged a top-tier premium rate, specifically what the source refers to as a tie bellow fee, invoking the name of an incredibly renowned and established professional. They basically wanted the elite reward without having put in the elite work.
And well, the outcome? It was unfortunately inevitable. The photographer delivered far, far below expectations. When you demand a premium fee, you are inherently setting a premium expectation. If the photographer had just charged a standard apprentice rate, the client noted they wouldn't have even been upset. They would have managed their expectations. But asking for top-tier compensation and then handing over an underwhelming, amateur product, the client said it was a definitive hard no. The final product completely failed to capture the importance of the event.
Which brings us to Section 2, the cost of unreadiness.
So, what happens after the dust finally settles on a failed opportunity? This timeline brilliantly traces the long-term fallout. Let's walk through it. Day 1, the event day. The photographer severely underdelivers. Fast forward 6 months, maybe a year, the client states they've forgiven the photographer. The initial anger has faded. But look at the very end of the timeline, years later. The photographer has actually put in the work. Their personal growth has kicked into high gear and their craft has significantly improved. But guess what? That client is never going to engage them for a photography job ever again. The memory of that ruined event is locked in permanently. The skills eventually caught up for sure, but that professional relationship completely burned to the ground. This anecdote broadens to a much wider, kind of uncomfortable truth, especially for younger professionals or really anyone pivoting to a new career. When you put yourself forward without the actual capacity to do the work, you are almost guaranteed to fail to deliver. And when you do, clients don't just think, oh, well, they're having a bad day. No, they permanently view you as incompetent. You create an absolutely irreversible bad first impression. Honestly, so many people miss out on truly life-changing opportunities later down the line because they blew their shot by demanding to be in the room way before they were actually ready. We really need to completely reframe how we view these massive chances.
Let's move into Section 3, when opportunity is a trap.
We kind of have this habit of treating opportunities like magical elevators that are just going to effortlessly lift us up to the next floor of success. But the source material makes such a profound point here. Getting an important opportunity before you are ready for it doesn't magically bestow you with skills. Instead of helping you grow, it acts like a giant spotlight. It just broadcasts your lack of preparation to literally everyone in the room. What you thought was your grand chance to shine suddenly becomes this very public exhibition of your unreadiness. The source drops this incredible quote, and I'm going to read it slowly because the weight of this concept really needs to land.
Opportunity isn't always a gift when it comes too soon. Let that sink in for a second. Actually, scratch that. Let's think about the reality of it. Sometimes it reveals your lack of readiness so clearly and so publicly that it actively closes doors for your future. We get so completely obsessed with getting the gift, we don't even stop to ask if we have the strength to actually carry it.
Here's the real kicker: the network effect of failure. A poor showing today doesn't just lose you today's client. It literally costs you the recommendation you are going to desperately need tomorrow. People simply do not forget. When someone loses confidence in you, it can take years, I'm talking years, of hard, quiet, entirely unrecognized work just to regain that trust. If the apprentice had just waited, trained, and been patient with their personal growth, that client could have been a lifelong advocate. Instead, the door is shut forever. So how do we avoid this trap?
Let's wrap things up with Section 4, Learning Before Earning.
The ultimate antidote to rushing your professional journey is honest, sometimes kind of brutal self-assessment. The wisest choice you can make right now is to keep training instead of making demands you have zero capacity to fulfill. This is the absolute essence of true personal growth. It's the quiet hours. It's the unpaid practice. It's putting in the work when literally nobody is clapping for you, so that when the spotlight finally does hit you, you don't just melt under the heat.
The source poses this exact challenge, and honestly, it's brilliant. I want you to genuinely ask yourself right now, if the door opened today, am I ready to walk through and thrive? Or would it reveal I still have work to do? Really be honest with yourself, because if you fail to ask this question regularly, what you think is a lucky break is inevitably going to become a devastating setback.
So, to sum all this up for your own personal growth trajectory, keep these mandates in mind. First, you absolutely have to avoid the obsession with earning. Yes, obviously we all need to make a living, but obsessing over cashing in prematurely severely limits your learning. When you are entirely focused on the paycheck, you stop training your skills, you stop pushing the boundaries of your craft, and ultimately you fail to protect your future reputation. Focus on the learning phase. The earning is naturally going to follow the mastery.
As we close out today's explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to carry with you. Take a hard look at your current daily habits, your current projects, your current goals. Is your true focus right now on building your capacity, expanding your skills, and really investing in your personal growth? Or are you just chasing a paycheck, practically begging for a big break before you're truly ready to deliver the excellence it requires? Don't let your ambition ruin your reputation. Put in the work, trust the process of your growth, and when that door finally does open, you won't just walk through it, you're going to own the entire room. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time as we continue to break down the ideas that shape our world.